Hi there, my name is Rebecca Murdock, and I'm the Star Director for the Wickless Crew team in Fort Worth, Texas. And today I'm here to talk to you about looking out to see the big picture. So today we're going to learn about time management. We're going to learn about business planning and being prepared, because when you're prepared and you have a plan and you know what your priorities are, you will then feel more confident and more excited in your business. So the first things first, we have to decide what are those things that you want to prioritize in your business, whether you want to build more PRV consistency, party more, maybe you want to add more team members to your team, or maybe you just want to build your subscribers. Decide what those things are, and then build or adopt systems and routines that support those ideas. So let's talk about managing your priorities. Say the one thing you want to do is be more consistent with your PRV. So there's income producing activities, and then there's passive activities that are also important for your business because when you do those things, they will help lead you to those income producing activities. So some examples of that are having parties, online parties, bag parties. We used to call them basket parties. Scentsy Club subscribers, getting those people, in-person parties, fundraising and events, getting the scent under the nose of the people. That is how you increase your PRV. So it's creating those moments where you can do that, like open houses. Who's having a last chance first glance? I've consistently done that in my business, every catalog change since I became a consultant. And it is those couple times a year where I'm getting people in my door. I don't have to go anywhere. And it's, helped me not only boost my sales for the month, the 10% off month, but also it increases my, right out the gate, I have parties booked and new sales for the new catalog when that launches. A big thing is building relationships. That's income producing. People do business with people they know and trust. So it's creating those moments where you can foster that trust. So following up, those are all income producing activities. Things that are not income producing activities, they're more passive, but really still important for building your PRV consistency, is daily recording of your numbers. I can tell you that, I guess 2019, that's when it was, I had a really good year, but I wasn't recording my numbers every day. And I always thought annual sales was out of my reach, right? So I decided in 2019, I had a really good year. I decided to look and see what my sales were for that period of time for the annual sales qualification period, and realized I was like 2,500 PRV away from earning annual sales for the year. I missed it by $2,500. Right then, I decided that I was going to start looking at my numbers every day, because one thing that did for me was put it at the forefront of my mind every single day. I recorded it and still record it in my planner, my weekly planner every single day. PRV, TWV, GWV, active frontline, like all those numbers I'm looking at on a daily basis. And ever since I started doing that, I have earned annual sales every single year since. And I'm already on target to earn it for this year. So be on target. So those are very important things. While directly recording it is not income producing, it's putting it into the forefront of my mind so that I'm thinking about what do I need to do to make that number go up every single day, because I want to see those numbers change. Scheduling your posts in your VIP groups or on your, in your different groups that you're on social media. If you can schedule those posts, those are passive, it's touch points, but it can lead to those income producing activities. Like it could help you book parties. It could help you schedule other events. Another thing, sample making. Sample making is not income producing. However, if you give someone a sample and you follow up with them, then guess what? That becomes income producing. So see how they're connected? Going live on social media and reels, you're sharing your experience and you're not selling to people, right? That's not income producing. However, you are sharing the lifestyle. Like you're, a lot of people are super successful in just sharing how they use the product, showing people how to use a cotton cleanup and change out their wax, doing their wax Wednesdays where they walk around their house with their phone recording how they change out all their wax for the day and what they're putting in. And this smells nice, you know. It's getting people interested. So they're seeing how you use the product. Again, nobody's going to want to buy Scentsy from you if what they see in your photos or your reels are wicked candles, or, you know, you're using a different brand soap and they can see that, right? You need to be using your products and showing those in your reels. Live unboxing, that's always fun when you get products in. You're, again, not selling to anybody. Could be your personal stash. You could be unpacking a party order. All those things, while not income producing, can lead you to some of those income producing activities. So that is one thing. Those are things to focus on to build your PRV consistency. Maybe that priority is building a team. Some income producing activities for building a team: flipping your party host. You have those parties booked, you know, because you're working on building your PRV consistency. As you have those parties hosted, always ask, you know, offer to everyone. Don't think about, you know, well, they probably, you know, don't predetermine, don't make the decision for them. Go ahead and offer every single one of them the $59 host kit. If you have your own orders that you have going in and you have a $59 host kit available, you can offer that to anybody, right? It does not, you know, do not throw those host kits away, right? You want to use every opportunity to bring people on that maybe the $99 is a stretch for them, or maybe they just kind of, you know, need to see more of what it's about before they commit. You know, you're getting the product in their hand, and then you're getting those kits in their hands, and then you're going to show them how to work the business. So sharing the opportunity with everybody, you know, who do you know? Pick 10 people a week to reach out to, and, you know, not, hey, want to join my team? Rather, have you ever thought about doing what I do? Maybe you're following up with them and you about an order that they had, and say, you know, we have you know, a lot of the same scent favorites. You know, let me show you. Have you ever thought about doing what I do? Let me show you how you can make money. You know, doing something that you love, right? Selling a product that you love. At parties, listen for those clues to see who's interested. If somebody's asking you, well, because my favorite, you know, they'll ask, how much time do you spend, you know, working on your Scentsy business? And income disclosure, I'm going to say it right now, my Scentsy business has grown over the years to the point that it pays me more than my career job. I work full-time still, but I'm here to tell you that there's ways to manage your time and work your business alongside your full-time job, and it can pay you like a full-time job. So listen for those clues that shows that people are interested. Or how long have you been doing it? That is a sign of interest. Don't make things hard when you're at parties. You know, back in the day when we just had warmers and wax and room sprays and scent circles, that was it. That was all we had in the beginning. You know, it was really easy. We had price points that were very similar, you know, standard. They, you know, we had like basically 3 prices of warmers, and that was it. So now that we have so much, I'm not going to memorize all that. However, I do take my product training guide in with parties, and that's kind of what I use as my outline. I'm going to make this look easy so that somebody sitting in that knows I've been doing this a long time, and I still can just take a book, and like that way I'm not forgetting anything. That they're like, they can look at me and think, you know what, I can do that too. So And after you go to those parties, follow up with those leads of those people that said they were interested, right? So those are all income producing type activities. Things that are not income producing, but still important, sharing your Scentsy story. Go live on social media, or create a reel, or make sure your story is up to date on your PWS. When you're at a party, make sure you're sharing, why you started. Maybe that reason why you started has changed now. Maybe back then it was for a totally different reason than why you continue to do Scentsy today. You can host an opportunity night. Now, that's passive because you can't really control who's coming. You can just send the invite out, but you don't have a captive audience. So that's really considered passive. The other thing is, think about, so another important thing to think about when you are wanting to build a team is, what is your outlook like? What's your vibe like on social media, or when you're with people? Are you pessimistic? Are you griping about, the long line at the gas station or whatever, or are you positive Polly? Now, I'm not saying you have to be positive all the time. Just don't air your garbage on social media. Nobody wants to be a part of that group or that team if they see that you're constantly griping about something. So try to bring more value to the table. So share positive quotes, share happy things, be vulnerable. You can be vulnerable on social media, but that doesn't mean you have to be negative. So those are two different things. So that's pretty much managing your priorities and then identifying those tasks that relate to those. So when you're planning your business, these are the systems and routines that should tie back to the things that you do want, your priorities, right? They're going to help you manage your time so that you can fit Scentsy in those fringe moments alongside what your daily life is like, side kids, or for me, grandkids now, full-time job, part-time job, whatever you have going on in your life. These systems will help you easily work your business alongside those things that are happening. For me, that's twofold. Weekly system for, these are planned things that I do every single week. And then routines. So that's part of the daily routine. Also can be a response to something that happens, like I get an order or I get an email that I have an order, or an email that I have a new downline. What are those things, those routines that I do every single time where it's like second nature now? So for me, weekly, and even for you, a weekly system could look something like, on Mondays, you could schedule all your social media posts. You could schedule time for one-on-one contact with your hosts and customers. That's relationship building. You could, on Tuesdays, it'll be team day, Tuesday team days. That could be your training day. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. Scentsy offers a training every single week on Tuesday, so you can plug people into those trainings. You could have one-on-one contact with your frontline or your leaders if you're a leader and you have other leaders on your team, you could have one-on-one contact with them. On Wednesdays, maybe that's your one-on-one contact with potential recruits. Are there any join specials that you can offer them? Find out how they're feeling, check the temperature, right? You could also have one-on-one contact with new team members. These are, when you're following up, especially in those critical first 15 to 70 days, right? Thursdays can be mail days for PWS orders. Maybe it's your happy mail, your thank yous that go out. Any administrative tasks, maybe you're checking, what do you need as far as business supplies, and you're replenishing those. Fridays can be for follow-ups, out of the box calls. You get an email when an order is shipped, you get an email when an order is placed. You can follow that and see, has their order arrived yet? You're always going to be checking the temperature for customer satisfaction. Have you got your order? Have you unboxed it yet? Was it everything you hoped it would be? Is there any issues I need to address? It's also, Friday can be your customer service. If you have a discontinued list and you're wanting to build subscribers, we have this discontinued list for the new catalog that starts in March. Guess what? That can help you identify who may want to start a new club order. So be looking at those things. So routines, so that's like the weekly planned tasks. Routines are different than your weekly system because there are a series of tasks that can be triggered by an event, such as that email that I talked about before. So my daily, and then I have a daily routine. So not specific to any day, like every day of the week, I log my numbers. I check my news tab. I arm myself with knowledge. There's even, Scentsy has a document called Daily Power Hour. You can download that from the Scentsy Success page and use that in your routine. So for me, something that works really well for me, I try to create moments where, yes, I know Scentsy sends an email when somebody places an order thanking them on my behalf, right? However, I like to follow up that with a text because everybody knows you get those automated emails, right? So I like to follow up with a text. And I have, I use DOUGH 2.0, that's DOUGH 2.0, and I will continue to use it. It's a CRM, customer relationship management system. And in that, I can create scripts. People that use boards is another, like, it's a keyboard that you can create scripts. So you can use it in any of those. You can even set up a document that has scripts that you can copy paste. Basically, it sends a little cute graphic. It sends them a text. Thank you so much for your order today. I really appreciate you. And I try to change those up at a minimum monthly, like the way I word it. And you can personalize it when you do that. And that's just that extra touch, that extra customer service from me to my customers. So, that they know as soon as I get that email from Scentsy, I'm sending that. It takes 2 seconds. It takes longer to check my email than it does to send that text, right? When another routine that I have is when the email comes in that a customer's order has shipped, I'm clicking on the link with their tracking, I'm copying it so I can paste it into another text using that same DOUGH 2.0 that says, good news, your order has shipped. You can track it here. And so that's, again, they don't have to wait. They don't have to wait till they check their email. They're hearing from me first, right? As soon as I check my email and I said that, I'm sending them a text because it's just extra customer service and it's going to set you apart. It's those little things that help. Another routine that I use, I have a new consultant email, actually email/text, just kind of a series of campaigns that I use to walk my new consultants through their first few days, their first 15 days, their first 70 days. I link them in that text. I will link them back to our team page to make sure they're connected. I plug them into the system that Scentsy already has for First Things First checklist, because if it's not broke, don't fix it. Like I told you before that I work full time, so I am utilizing the tools that Scentsy provides to us. I am not about making a whole bunch of stuff that, outside of these little touches. So, because for me, it's all about building relationships, right? Systems are already created by Scentsy, and all you have to do is plug people into it and check on them and make sure that, they have what they need. So your onboarding system it should be putting them into the First Things First checklist, but also like helping them set up it, a VIP group if that's the way they want to run their business. Not everybody has to run their business like you run yours. That's something you'll learn. Not everybody wants to be a director or above. Some people just want it as a hobby. Those things change. So it's our job really to kind of check the temperature, see as circumstances change if they want something more. So you're just always trying to connect, right? So find out how, for new consultants, find out how they like to be supported. Set expectations. All my new consultants know I work during the day. I do best by text during the day. I'm always open to calls in the evening. I'll Zoom with them, whatever they need. I'm there to support them, of course, but also, it's your time to set your office hours or your boundaries, because people, should be respectful of your time, right? And you should be respectful of theirs. So now that you've planned your business and you've set those priorities, it's time to get prepared, right? First thing I want you to do is to do a time study. Do a time study for a week and find those little fringe moments in your regular daily schedule that you can work your business, and block those off in your calendar, or set it as an appointment on your phone, so every morning, 3 minutes, log numbers, right? Every day, like for me, working that full-time job, during the lunch hour, or the lunch 30 minutes, or whatever time I have for lunch, I'm picking up my phone, I'm checking my emails. During that time, that's when I'll send some of those texts. If I've got PWS orders or new consultant orders, or I've got questions, I'm answering those. You can really work your business in those fringe moments if you have another full-time job, or you have other priorities, like family and things like that. You really can. If you can set aside, 15 minutes a day, 20 minutes a day, or maybe it's 10 minutes a day, and then a couple hours on the weekend, you can do this. But the first thing you got to do is be realistic with yourself, and look for those moments that you can block off on your calendar that you can dedicate to Scentsy. So those are your times that you're able to work, because once you know the times you're able to work, you know how you can plug in all those income producing activities that we talked about earlier into that calendar, or those routines and those daily tasks into that calendar, so that you can run your business. The second important thing to do to get prepared is organize your workspace. For me, I have the system that I use. I have my bulk sampling, because not everybody has a ton of space. I have a shoe saver on the back of my office door, and inside each one of the you know what I'm talking about, the shoe saver, each one of them has a place where I put the samples. Where a shoe would go, I put the samples in. So it's those hanging shoe storage things. That's what it is. So that's my bulk sampling. Once I have all those done, like I try to knock those out early in the season and make a bunch of them. So I'm not spending, maybe I'll spend a Saturday doing that. So I'm not spending all throughout the catalog season making more samples. And again, making samples is useless if you're not going to follow up, right? Because if you just hand somebody something and you never follow up with them, like you're missing an opportunity to make that sale. And it doesn't have to be, hey, do you want to buy that scent? It's like, tell me what you thought about that scent. Did you pick up the floral hint? Or, how did it warm in your house? And can you, tell me, was it one of your favorites? So the other, or when you're organizing your workspace, have your thank yous like ready to go. Whether it's thank you cards or little cards that whatever your system is, identify that and have them ready to go at a moment's notice when you get that that email order. Because the other thing I do that I didn't mention earlier is when somebody places an order, I write it down in my weekly calendar. My weekly calendar is so I can go back on that day, my mail out day, and I can check off that I've mailed their happy mail, because I like to send a little thank you gift. And it doesn't have to break the bank. I get free and half price stuff, just like any consultant does as a host, my own host. And I use that to get things like car bars and scent circles and travel twists, all those things that I can use depending on the size of their order. It will depend on the size of the gift that I send them, right? So your packaging supplies, I use bins at the bottom of this shelving unit behind me. At the bottom, I've got these fabric bins, and inside them is all my packing supplies. You know, it's my bags, my tissue, and you know, all that kind of good stuff. So I'm ready to go. You can print trackers. There's lots of great ones out there that help you track your happy mail, your follow-ups, your thanks, your order thanks, your sponsoring conversations. If you send out party packs for online parties, all those things can be tracked. And if you have that ready, you're prepared, you can track it and you know who you've sent what. The next thing you want to do to be prepared is arm yourself with knowledge. We have at our fingertips the news tab, product status list. The product status list helps you manage your customers' expectations. We have team pages. If you, you know, your director or your superstar director, star director, whoever your upline is, probably has a team page if they are a director and above, or some way to communicate with their team. Connect there. So you have that at your fingertips. The product training guide, like take some time. We come out with a new one. Scentsy comes out with a new one every catalog season. So any new products will be in there and you can kind of learn the pros and cons. There's sales tips, whatever you need to learn about your product, because you do need to be knowledgeable. You don't have to memorize everything, but you do need to have some base knowledge, right? So make that a part of your daily routine, is checking that news tab every single day, because you guys know we have LTOs, limited time offers. We have all kinds of stuff that Scentsy provides for us on a weekly basis. There's news coming at us, and it helps us be in the know, because again, you know, it helps build trust for your team members, trust for your customers, you know, that you are always in the know of things that are coming or things that are happening. So creating these systems and routines are super important, but what's even more important is building relationships. And for me, that's another part of being prepared. It's the number one thing that has affected all areas of my business. So try not to rely too much on like a social media post to get your name out there. Really focus on building relationships and having those one-on-one connections. And when you have those one-on-one connections, make sure it's authentic messaging and not the same thing bulk to everybody in your friends list. Like, that's not what it's about. Because like I mentioned before, people do business with people they know, like, and trust. So that is your number one job, is to build those relationships. Now, if you do connect with people on social media, spend some time, you know, schedule some time in to comment on posts. It helps build the algorithm. It helps you become more visible to them when you do have posts. If you're interacting with their posts and they're interacting back with you, they're going to see you in their feed more often. So that is a good thing. And so when I say comment on their posts, like, don't make it about Scentsy, just generally, if you see something that reminds you of them, share it in a private message. You know, maybe their favorite band is touring. I'm a big music lover. So their favorite band is touring. Hey, did you see so-and-so is coming to town? You know, I have one customer that she loves coffee more than I do. So whenever we have a new coffee shop that opens, I'm like, hey, have you tried Scooter's Coffee yet? You know, tell me what you think. Was it good? You know, and so it's like building that relationship so that you're becoming, you know, more of a friend to them, right? And it's authentic. Like, I really do want to know, has she been to the coffee shop and did she like it? And what do I need to get when I go there? So, because unless you met them, like when you connect with people on social media, unless you met them at a party or an event, you know, when you meet new people at all, like maybe you met them outside of Scentsy, don't lead with, I'm so glad we connected on Facebook or whatever. Did you know I sell Scentsy? Like, that's not, you know, get to know them first. Lead with relationship building always, right? So the other thing you can do as you're getting to know people is create ways to interact with them without selling to them. So for me, I like to do bingo nights at my house. You can do bunko nights. I give small Scentsy gifts as prizes. Doesn't cost them anything. It's just something fun to do. But you can bet when they come to my house and they go use my restroom, there's going to be a room spray in there. There's going to be a warmer in the bathroom. There's going to be Scentsy hand soap for them to wash their hands with. There may be a basket of freebies, like samples that they can take before they leave. Maybe I'm giving them a little goodie bag for everybody that came. Just creating those moments where it gets people in my door and helps me have some fun with them, right? You could host a craft night. Maybe you're one of these crafty girls and you've got maybe your mom that has, kids, and you want to do a mom and me craft night with some of your customers that also have kids. Maybe it's Valentine's or Christmas or, any of the holidays. You can do simple little crafts where it brings people to you. Just make sure you have fresh wax in your warmers and have fun with them, right? So again, parting gifts as they leave, which includes samples to try that you're willing to follow up with them about. They're naturally going to ask you, oh my God, do you have anything on hand, or can I order such and such? And that, you're building the relationship first. You're having the fun with them first. You're creating those authentic moments where you can connect and get to know them, and your business will grow. So the bottom line really is what you focus on grows. So the more you're prepared, the easier it is to run your business. Because your business, your systems and routines that you put in place will become habits. Your customers and your team members are going to trust you. You're going to be reliable. You're going to be knowledgeable. You're going to be excited. And you know what? You can pivot when you need to. Above all else, you're going to create some lasting friendships. And if you get off track, give yourself some grace. Simply start again, right? Just get back up, start again, focus on what you want and what you can do right now. And as those things become more of a habit to you, and you find that you have a little room or things are moving a little bit more smoothly, you can add more things in, right? So you're going to hear lots of ideas throughout World Tour. And I want you to give you this little bit of advice. Do what resonates with you, right? You're the only person that is you, right? That is your superpower. You don't have to be anybody else. Being you is what sets you apart. So now I want you to take a moment and decide if anything you've heard in this chat will have a big impact on your business. Write it down. Write down what you need to get started. Do the time study. Get your book, get it all in your notebook, get it in your planner, do your time study, and just get started. Thanks so much for watching today. Have a great rest of your day.